All right, what's up, guys? If you guys can hear me loud and clear, just drop a one in the YouTube chat for me, please. Just want to make sure all the audio's working. All right, what's up, guys? If you guys can, there we go. Checked on my end. Cool. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get on started. Welcome to today's session live on Midnight Bags. We'll see if we can find some trade ideas. Do have a zone for silver cooking up. If you were with us last week, our gold trade right before the session ended. You guys can go back and look at it. I did say look at this zone. It was off like the 2 minute, and then there was a 3 minute entry. This trade ended up running from there all the way to down here, well over 2,000. Looks like 3,000 pips. So this was a pretty clean move. Gave easy moves, easy entry, similar stuff we look for. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. We got an exciting week. As always, we look at what the economic calendar is showing for us. So let me just check something real quick. Cool, there we go. Awesome. So for tomorrow morning, we got some news. Got NFP employment change Wednesday morning at 5:30. So definitely keep an eye on that. We'll see how the volatility comes out there. Then later this week, main day is Friday for me personally. CPI is coming out, so that will be a big day. See what happens in the markets in terms of volatility. The rest of the currencies are pretty chill. US is the main one we're focusing on for sure for this week. As far as next week is pretty chill. So the main day for this week will be Friday, to be honest. We're gonna go ahead and get right into it. As far as markups, if you guys have anything you want me to look at, just feel free to drop it in the chat, and I can always take a look there. Let me reset. All right. So personally, for on a daily wise, I do see gold running up a bit more, especially as we head into this Valentine's week. In terms of locations to get in on a trade again. Right now with gold, I'm being a little patient. There are like some trendline liquidities built up, but personally, what I will be looking for is probably to keep it simple, a break and retest from this level to continue higher up to fill the imbalance to the left here. For me, that's the more probable trade. So I'm waiting for price to break above because as you guys can see, this is a key level where price has rejected multiple times, whether to the downside or to the upside as well. You've been able to catch some moves. So this will be a very important level. So we're going to keep an eye on that. If we can get a pullback, let's see if we have anything on the smaller time frames here. Personally, for gold, I don't have anything on the smaller time frames for re-entry yet. I think that the main move will be once price breaks out. Because we might, for London Open, get a small retracement because you guys can see we're just building up this liquidity right here. So I can see this getting taken out and then us possibly getting an entry. Let me see if there's something small inside of here. No, I'm gonna wait on this. Definitely want to see gold drop a little bit first before we continue back up for a play. As far as silver, which I like a lot more personally, looking for price to pull back. I respect this trap candle that's right inside of here. If we can get a pullback inside of here, I would like to continue higher up. If this just breaks out, then I'll reevaluate when price gets closer. The same concepts, even if we miss this initial one, play the obvious play, which is wait for price to close above and then continue up from here. This was a key level, as we can see. So if we get the pullback, awesome. If we don't, we just wait for price to close above and then continue further up. I know we do have this lone trap count on 15-minute, but I don't like how we have the imbalance here. So personally, I won't take that. I'm just gonna wait for price to come into 89, even potentially 90. If Gold runs, we can definitely see silver run and come fill the imbalance up to 90, 94, 95 even. So personally, that's what I'll be waiting on. I do like the silver play. The only thing that has me a little cautious about this zone is we didn't fill the gap on silver, but this is something still I'll be looking to attempt as long as price reacts in this zone. Um, uh, I always market execute, so I wait for price to give me signs once inside the zone. So 15-minute signature trap candle entry, we're gonna wait for that, and then we'll go from there. So that's gold and silver. Silver is looking a little bit nicer for me personally versus gold. Take a look at indices here. We'll reset. So personally, I do want to see NAS go higher, but I do have a couple of zones. Thing is, really depending on how the data comes out, we'll see how deep NASDAQ really wants to go lower. I think we get a sell-off before CPI, and then we go further up. So going into this London session, I'm going to be looking for some potential shorts depending on how the London Open is for NASDAQ. Ideally, we get a little push up and then get some chances for the re-entry for the shorts. We haven't fully filled the gap. We'll see if we have anything cooking up right now. This already played inside the trap candle. I can see NAS potentially hold up anywhere between 230 and 240 in the short down, but I'm going to wait for London Open for NAS. I do want to see it go lower to rebalance price action right here. So I have two zones, one right here. If price is momentum, I can see that getting taken out and us filling all the way back down here. They're both off 2 hour zones. And whichever one gets respected first, ideally I want to see higher. And then by the end of the week, we get up back to 25, 600, 700. Would like to see one more push up before we get a decent sell off. So that's my outlook on NAS. I am in favor of buys long term for sure. Maybe we can catch some short term sells. Just gonna be patient on that move specifically. US 30, do a little reset here. Definitely the one that's the most bullish for sure. And as I go through this, guys, if there's anything you need me to explain, um, uh, or you have questions in general about specific stuff, feel free just to let me know, and I have no problem going into that. In terms of where US 30 is at, I do want to see 30 come back down into about 49, 300, 200 zone, and then us look for more buys from there. As far as shorts, it's gonna be patient on this. Like I said, I really want to see what London volume gives. Because tomorrow's news, we have volatility news tomorrow at 5:30 PST. We could see a small spike up, and if we do see a spike up, volume is a big thing. If I see volume decrease for the buys, I will look for the shorts for sure. I do like this little 3 minutes, so I'm gonna keep an eye on this. If we see a spike up and then short back down, um, and it always depends on volume. Right now, I'm not gonna pull the trigger on this yet. I would like to see if we can get one more move up, but I do want to see some shorts coming in for 30 because we've just been going up and up and up. If you guys catch shorts, you can take this all the way down to 49,400. It's a nice big drop for sure. We're gonna keep on running through this. SPX, let's see what we're looking at on this personally. This is definitely a little bit more choppy. SPX does have some liquidity built up. Got some equal highs right here. So seeing a pop up before we sell off kind of makes sense. I want to see SPX also clear out the liquidity, and then we get some short-term sells to continue buys. I don't have an obvious area for SPX buys. Personally, I like NAS and 30 better than SPX, the way it's looking. So I'm gonna set it here, gonna wait, I'm gonna look for liquidity to get taken out tomorrow for the news, and then see how volume prints. I'm a little bit more hesitant on shorting, and I'm also going to reduce my size when I short personally, because one, we're going against the trend, and I would like to see a little bit more extra confirmation if I was going to throw on some size. So I'm okay with risking a little bit less on the counter trend trade and being more aggressive with how I manage my positions. Going on to the dollar, we did have this zone to continue higher up, but dollar did trail back. Now where this is at, let's zoom out here. Curious to see. I can see dollar come and sweep this low. We have a candle with no wick, and we've always spoken about this. Whenever that happens, that usually gets taken out. Whether or not price holds in here, we'll have to see what the data comes out. That's going to play a big factor. So dollar still a little bit down. Seeing gold push up. Oil. Give me a second while this loads. There we go. So discarding this zone. This was the one we were waiting for last week. Um, Not gonna worry about it. I still have an alert here. I'll see what price does when it gets to it. But oil's just been chopping sideways. To be honest, when this happens, I'd rather be patient. We are building up some trendline liquidity. As you guys can tell, this is squeezing pretty hard. So whenever, personally, my rule say, whenever I see squeezes like this, I am okay with waiting and let price show us what it actually wants to do. The the longer it squeezes, the bigger the breakout, and we don't necessarily have to be in the market. We take the obvious trades, not the ones that are lower quality setups. We do have equal highs on oil here, so a nice push down to cash the buys would be solid. So just gonna be patient on oil. We've got a lot of liquidity on both ends, so I'm not quite interested in forcing anything with this. Let's just let this break out and show its hand afterwards. Since we got USD news tomorrow, let's shift through our USD pairs. Peso still hovering inside the larger time frame zone. Still think this is valid. Might get one more drop. So see something like this and go up. My alert for silver just went off. My silver is exploding. Looks like it's a potentially rejecting this area. I'm not gonna force a sell yet, given how bullish it is. Like I would need to see candle close against it first. But silver can potentially reject off of here and we get a short-term sell. As you guys can see, it is a key level where price has rejected. So wait for the candle to close because given how the momentum is, volume has been there. This could just be a fake out rejection and it goes and it closes above and we go higher. So wait for the candle close, just wait for the retest and then take it from there. Keep it simple. As I was saying for peso, I can see one more sweep down before we get a slight rally. B, I wouldn't put an alert or anything for the peso in terms of where it's at, especially with volatility coming out this week. Let news do its thing. News is the excuse to push price in a certain way, but let it create that volatility, and then we play the aftermath and see what the market really wants to do. There's no point in us rushing to get into the trade at all. UJ. Dang, this is a little bit painful. You guys can see the alert is still here and it did not trigger. Unfortunately, it left without us. I'm still gonna keep the alert for now in case things change. Maybe we get one more spike up. But basically what we were talking about last week and prior weeks is ended up happening. We had the equal highs. We're like, we're gonna get the sweep. We did get the sweep, just not high enough. Unfortunately, that's okay. Can't get them all. But Nasus was on the right track. Still gonna wait. You never know with the news volatility because this is for me still inefficient. I can see us still push up here. So this is I'm still holding on to the UJ idea, but we are on the right track. Just didn't get triggered in. USD Swiss hasn't fully shown up. I was considering this area. We were looking at this. Where it's at right now, I wouldn't reattempt again, really, because we're probably gonna get one more sweep down. We've got these equal lows, and then given that we're at all-time lows, now I would just like wait on its hands. It is inside this daily trap candle. I can see it getting run through and then potentially respecting, but wait for a higher time frame confirmation at this point. One more sweep down is definitely a possibility to take out this liquidity. USD CAD, and if I'm gonna zoom through this fairly quickly. If we get a setup, awesome. And I'll try to let you guys know. But if you guys have anything specific you want me to look at, just let me know, and then we can go from there. More shorts on USD CAD. We've got more liquidity built up here. Basically, relative equal lows. Where this is at, let's see. Yeah, I can see this going even much lower. We've got plenty of equal lows here. Personally, I would sit on my hands for UCAD. If we can catch shorts, even better. But as far as buying opportunities, there is not anything really present, at least as of yet. Take a look what we have in here. What's up, Xavier? Welcome in, bro. Just saw your chat. Yeah, with UCAD, I mean the most probable is shorts, but I just don't have a super obvious area, so I'm okay with sitting on my hands. It's still very early in the week, so market can always be waiting for the volatility to kick in. This gave an initial reaction, but failed to break lower, so that is okay. Let's see where we're at with this. We just made more sets of lows. This going down. If you guys see something that I don't, feel free to drop it in. I'm always open to different perspectives. Um, I do not even like how this is looking on Euro odd personally. I'm okay with staying out of that. Yeah, Eurocat, I want a short, but let's see if we can get a pullback to get into these shorts. Price can potentially respect this zone here. We can short down, target the liquidity that's built up here. And just be cautious. The USD news can also have an influence on other pairs. Like you might get some spikes. But it would make sense to just come respect this and continue lower. So there we have that for Euro CAD. Euro Swiss. Same bias as last week. This thing is hasn't shown us any confirmation yet to attempt buy, so I'm okay with waiting on this. There's no reason to force anything. We're still at more or less all-time lows. Euro GBP ended up disrespecting the area, unfortunately. It made sense to continue looking for shorts. We had the target. Um, this price did not want to react inside of there. Where this is at right now, let's see. And even though we took some losses initially, like if you just took that gold trade, you're still up over 1,000 plus pips. So like these small zones were not even that much of a risk compared to what the gold trade gave as far as profit. So as long as you have proper risk management, you're still up a good amount from last week. I'm not liking Euro GBP at all either. No liquidity. This thing's kind of trapped in like two zones. We got equal highs up here, we got lows here, so wait for one to get cleared out. Euro JPY did clear out the equal highs we're looking at. Um, Wonder if this reacted from a fib perspective. Almost. Okay. Huh. Well, this was the short we were waiting for so long. Just looking at here. Yeah, definitely more shorts again. We got equal lows. Play this little trap candle inside of here. Um, won't attempt any buys yet, just because we've got the equal lows here. Maybe we get a sweep and then trail up. I would like to see some shorts on Euro JPY if we can get a pullback, especially if the liquidity remains intact. We've got that liquidity. We also have this liquidity here. And then we also have the gap that was left behind from October that hasn't been filled. So if we can get a push pullback, this is a 1,000 pip move. So keep an eye on that area and see if we can get a pullback to continue shorting down. Got some alerts set. This did not pull back further enough. I'm still gonna keep an eye on it in case it wants to come rebalance right inside of here. Let me make sure I set an alert. Your NZD, yeah, there we go. Rebalance to continue lower. Euro USD did not come back into the zone, unfortunately. Where this is at, wait a second. I'm gonna wait on this now. This was what we are looking for last week. Oh wait, it did come back. I'm sorry, guys. Just realized Wednesday. Oh no, never mind. My mistake, guys. No, it didn't come back. I just got the dates a little bit confused. So ideally, this one, I just want to see what the news gives, to be honest. We're like in the middle of this range. And personally, when we're in the middle, this is where I just wait for it to tell me what it wants to do with its hand. Nothing on Euro. GJ is also giving its a little sell off. So let's see if we have potential chance to get in for some shorts. This was a nice 2 hour trap candle that literally happened this morning. See if GJ can come back into this zone to continue shorting down. Right now it's giving you a reaction off of this higher time frame level of support. So you could potentially scalp some buys. I'd rather wait for this pullback. DJ also has, it did fill the gap, but I can still see it coming back down towards zero, especially with Euro JPY pushing down as well. GU, same bias as Euro. We're kind of basically stuck in the middle, um, or where the range is at currently with price. I don't like this trap candle because of the liquidity resting here. But I will say I don't take that. So I'm okay with waiting on this too. Like markets are not giving us very quality setups on the currencies. Moving on. I'm gonna discard this. It didn't pull. We have the alert. It didn't come and trigger, and it gave that shift down. So I'm okay with letting go of this idea. Right idea. It just didn't pull back enough. Um, yeah, I'm not in favor of buying anything with GP and Euro right now. I just see a shorting down more. Cool. Not staying out of that. This did get respected. So if anyone was on, this was one of those zones that got respected from last week. This thing is currently in 240 pips in profit. So even if you took some L's on the other ones, gold and this still paying you substantially. This will continue going lower. I can see all this liquidity getting taken out. Now let's see if we have a potential re-entry anywhere. I don't like this trap counter with like the very high wick next to it. Something I'm going to keep an eye on if we can continue shorting down this area here, respect it, and then continue to take out the liquidity down here. This trade is still running in profit here. See, let me just double check the chats. All right, all good on this end here. Go ahead, continue with the rest of the pairs. GP Swiss, I'm not in favor of buying this, especially with like how the Swiss keeps declining. With everything else, we are forming this little trend line liquidity. I do not even want to touch this. There's no setup with this at all right now because look, we just made more equal lows. This will more than likely get taken out. This idea I'm discarding for now. It did hit the exit of taking out the trendline liquidity. It just did not pull back. You guys can see the alert is still here. So this was a loss avoided. Just well, just a trade miss to be honest. Right analysis just didn't pull back further enough for us to get in. I just want to double check. Did silver start rejecting from here? Oh, it did. I don't know if anyone attempted that little short. I said it could potentially. I didn't attempt it, just being full transparent. Um, but this is a really good example of key levels. Like you can obviously see this is a key level. At this point, if anyone did attempt, manage your stops, go to break even, because this is already giving the move nicely down. Like I said, this is the next potential area off this 15 minute that I would like to see a reaction, but we'll be patient on that. If it gives it, awesome. If it doesn't, I'm not worried at all. Back to these pairs. No setup on this at all, and there's nothing setting up on GP and ZD. Markets are looking kind of dry this week compared to last week. Was a lot more opportunities. Huh. Yeah, nothing's loading up on this end for this pair either. AUD Swiss. This is just slowly grinding up. Got this nice little trend line forming, just like on the other one. I think this get taken out, but as far as an area to short, there's nothing really yet until we get some more volume confirmation. Yeah, nothing on that one. Who do we got in here, guys? Just go ahead and drop your names. I have a feeling we have some of our regulars as well, for sure. Today might be a shorter session. Got the liquidity here. Ideally, if we can respect this zone here, get a little pullback, come take out this liquidity. NZD. This thing will probably just continue trying higher. It is about to take out this candle that has no wick on it. Yeah, it's like right there. No obvious area for continuation buys on this. More likely this is going to take that upper area out. AUD USD. Take a quick look at this. Give me a quick second, guys. Just need to do something. Give me like 30 seconds. All right, cool. Sorry about that, guys. Just had to take care of something. No, nothing really on AUD USD. This is probably going to take out the high. You might get a short-term sell, but like given that we want dollar down just a bit more, I can see this high getting taken out. Yeah, personally, I'm not liking how any of the markets are looking, at least on the currency side. Gold indices, they all look solid. Um, this idea, unfortunately, took a loss. It did run for a little bit. Like it gave a 1 to 1.5. Um, but after it stopped this out, unfortunately. That's okay. We're still in profit overall from last week. Hmm, nothing on that end. I'd be curious to see if we can, from a structure point of view, respect this zone for yen and then continue down. I don't like this trap candle because of the liquidity that's like right here. I think we break past down it further, and then come down into this main area, like down into here. So like targeting down here, I can see a pretty big swing down for sure. Whether it respects this first sell zone or goes a little bit higher, I would like it to respect this. It would make sense, and then continue lower. I really like this candle on Swiss yen. See if we can get that and then short down. We've got liquidity pockets built up. Now it's just a matter of seeing price. The price can give us that pullback to get into the market. Because this is definitely a little bit of a deeper pullback than the other yen pairs that we're looking at. So set alerts and see where price is at for the other ones, um, so that you can take the lagger pair. I wish I would just had this pull on my phone. We could have taken it after the engulfing candle. There wasn't engulfing volume. Hmm. Uh, just a little learning point of view, because this is how, like, even though I didn't take this trade, it fits in terms of like how I would re-enter into the market. Um, See, even though we don't get the engulfing volume, we get a nice engulfing candle. If you were to attempt something like this, uh, say you got it like on the very first pullback, that was your stop. You could have gotten anywhere inside of here if you're paying attention to how volume's printing. You see prices trying to go up, but volume's decreasing down. That entry would give you at least 1 to 1. And I had said like go break even at this point, basically. I think it was like around here. Um, uh, and this still bags you 1 to 4, even with that much of a stop loss. So just a little like sharing my thought process is if I was just looking at this afterwards, it's like that's how I potentially attempted, and then take that down. Still gonna hold in favor of this idea. We'll see if we get it. Back to currency pairs. We'll take a look at some stocks as well since we got time because most of the currency pairs they're not really setting up. I mean, between Sunday, Monday, and today, like this has been chopping sideways. There's no reason to even get into this market. This is consolidating. NZD, JPY. And shout out to everyone that went to the Blueprint conference. That was an amazing event. I know a lot of people got breakthroughs. I myself did for sure. We'd like to see if we get a pullback. Same thing. I want to see pullbacks on the anything against the yens, and then we continue shorting. This trade is almost about to hit take profit. This is one that like we've been waiting for a while. Um, does so I'm gonna discard. Actually, I'll leave it in case the news gives a pullback, but more than likely this zone is not gonna be a probable one anymore, given how much price has delivered up. So we'll leave that there. We'll take it out. If it does give a pullback, same concept. You can always take it higher. Um, uh, but unfortunately, you didn't get the pullback. This will probably go ahead and hit TP. Makes sense. You have the imbalance, so this was a solid move. This NZZ chef, I know we had the other chef pair that got disrespected. This one is playing out, and it did ended up hitting take profit. It did give a little bit of pullback. It didn't give the second entry, but the first entry ran into profit, and that's solid there. Platinum. Let's take a look at this. So I would love to see if platinum can hold inside of this zone here. Hold there, and then us continue higher. Looking at something like that. And all these zones, especially with the commodities and indices, I will really wait to see what volume the news events bring tomorrow morning because this could just get disrespected and come a little bit of a deeper pullback. But volume's looking good. I would love to see if we can get a little bit of pullback and then continue higher. Otherwise, it can just respect where it's at because this is all pretty efficient. But we'll wait it out. Same concepts as gold and silver. If we don't get the pullback, just play, be smart. Play the break and close, break and retest, wait for the candle close, wait for the retest, and then continue higher up. Um, we do, yeah, I like this option better. This is a safer option. Copper, copper already respected this 30-minute area with the trap candle push down. Yeah, I think I'm gonna stay out of copper. Platinum, silver, and gold look a lot cleaner to me personally. Take a quick look at this. Higher on all the indices for sure. I want to see one more push up. I can't trade the DAX on the firm I'm using. But seeing the DAX pull back slightly and then continue higher up makes sense for me personally. Where's silver at? I'm curious why it did it just only reject right there. Okay. Quick little coverage. I haven't started buying in yet. I know we are talking about ICP. I still. Oh, we did clear this low. Perfect. Actually, this works out because I mean we have video proof. We've been talking. I kept saying this low is going to get cleared out. This is exactly what I was waiting for. Now that I must have just missed my own alert. I get so many alerts. I was waiting for this to get cleared out. Now I'm really going to pay close attention to what everything else is doing in terms of the space. And then I'm gonna pretty soon look to dollar cost average. This is only a 15% drop, so I might start setting my own personal. This is not financial advice, by the way, but my own personal buys going in with this. Let's see where Bitcoin is at. If you had the conference, we did speak about Bitcoin potentially going even below 60. It did hit our 75 target that we were talking about. Um, it's in an interesting area. I There's no engulfing vol engulfing candle on this daily, which is why I still see us dropping down. We did start to increase, so we're definitely in I would say pivotal area because we could just respect from here. I would love to see if we can get lower. Just breaking this down here, see what we're working with. I mean, for me personally, this would be beautiful here. 43 to 44 from a technical point of view. I mean, 40 even is even possible. Look at the inefficient price action there. And I'm just going purely based off of technicals. Obviously, like sentiment can change and we can just start rallying. Unless I start seeing volume, I will start potentially dollar cost averaging into other coins. Uh, but would love to see us get another drop. I'll just take a quick look at where everything else is at. Did file clear its lows? It did. Where is Chainlink at? Um, Awesome. My alert. If you guys are been with us, I've been talking about the zone for Chainlink. It did trigger. Now it's a matter of do we hold? Looks like we formed another set of lows here. See that potentially getting ran again. If we do, I can see 6.5 for chain from a technical point of view. Um, but even where it's at right now, I think it's still a decent area to dollar cost average into. As far as crypto points to put into, do your own research. As always, none of this is financial advice, but these are some projects that we've been looking at. Let's see how things are looking on the stock side. Might get some potential shorts on WBD. Okay, we'll keep an eye on this as well. I know some people are still in the shorts for Tesla. Disney, I see 90 for sure. And from a technical point of view, that's what makes sense to me. Snapchat. I do really want to see what we do below this low, uh, which is basically the all-time lows, and then potentially start accumulating if volume makes sense. Uh, and Weeble, this keeps going down. I think we still get one more push down on this. Volume hasn't shown enough proof yet for me personally. Would be interested to see if Hood can come back into 48, just in this zone here. Pretty dox to top. Um, what's this? Looking at 50% drop, right? This one also looking to potential start accumulating. I don't think the drop's done yet. Candle with no wick. I can see us coming lower for sure. This is something I'll be looking to take some option contracts on as I start seeing signs of accumulation on Bitcoin. Um, we had our educators were talking about this at the conference, so this is something I'm definitely keeping an eye on as well myself. PayPal zone, unfortunately, got disrespected, which is okay. It's still really cheap where it's at. It's definitely something worth keeping an eye on. Just keeping an eye on this in case I get our potential re-entry. But given that we're 14 minutes away from London Open, I'm okay with waiting for volume to kick in first. Let's see. Did I not have an alert on this for the pullback? I think when we did speak about this a while back, um, did say it was in a good area, so this is still playing out. The only thing with this, I don't like how we're forming this little trend line. We might get a little bit drop, so if this still continues to accumulate inside this area, would be good to get some. I know this is financial advice. This is stuff I'm looking at personally. Apple, Apple, Apple. Engulfing candle, but no volume on that. Sit out for that. Oh, nice. This is engulfing candle volume. Yeah, honestly, I'm curious to see because I want a little push up with the indices before we short. If Apple holds inside of here and then we get a little short down into 260s, I'm gonna set an alert and keep an eye on this. 212, I mean, all the way down here would be awesome. A chance to buy in at those levels. But it's something I'm gonna keep an eye on in here. I think that's pretty much it for me, guys. If you guys have anything you want me to specifically look at or cover topic wise, feel free. Goal is literally doing what we're talking about in terms of taking out this trend line. Um, so that's a good sign. Now, as far as buying opportunities, I would just wait until either London Open gives you something or tomorrow. Gold definitely looks like all this choppiness. I'd rather just be patient. Again, the more probable outcome trade is like a break and close above this key level. If you notice, it gets to that psychological level of like 5100. There's another one where you can do break and retest off that level as well. Gold loves to respect its key level, so take the probable trade. I think this could continue shorting down a bit more. So we'll be patient on this, especially we got 12 minutes until London Open. Don't force anything. My rules always say the closer we get to London Open, just wait for the session volume to kick in. How's Nasdaq looking? Yeah, if I can get a push up with the London Open, I'll look for some shorts on this. If volume's there. I'm just marking out previous highs. Also, a good note and a tip for whoever's watching: whenever indices are going on in the morning, it likes to target session highs and lows, whether it's Asian session high and low, London session high and low, um, like previous ones. So when you're marking up your charts, it's a good idea just get your session highs and lows. I know there's indicators that can do it for you. Um, uh, I just do it myself at times. So it's a good idea because sometimes when you're in the trade, you take out maybe inner liquidity and then you have external liquidity, which could be the session, previous session highs and lows. So just be aware of that. Because sometimes when you're in the trade, or you're trying to be in the trade and you don't know where it's going, that can be one direction as well, apart from your general TPs. I did respect this gap fill. I was playing off from there. But personally, I think that's it for me. Just recap, we do have two zones on NAS. Um, just depends on how much of a deeper pullback. I would love for us to get a pullback and then we continue higher. Silver, I do like this 15-minute trap candle. If I don't get this, I'll just look for a break and retest above this level to continue higher. Like you can see all the inefficient price action. Let's look at very probable trade if we can get a close above here. US 30, potentially, depending on seeing how this zone plays out. I believe it was a 1 hour zone. Yeah, not gonna force anything. I'm just gonna wait for the news for tomorrow, especially. No limits for me. But I like the potential downside target, especially if volume comes in. And here's a little tip, because sometimes we don't always catch like the bottoms and the tops. You guys can see this is where price previously reacted. Say you don't even catch the short here, but it comes back and retests this level, which is a key level. Obviously, look, one, two, more touches here. You can literally just do this. Wait for price to close below here and then take this down. Just like we're doing with gold and for the buys. Same thing with if we get a potential opportunity to sell. You don't have to try to catch the very tops and the very bottoms of the trades. But I think that's gonna be pretty much it for me, guys. Like always, if you are part of the community and if you ever need any help, feel free to reach out anytime. I'm always down for one-on-ones if you need. Um, and if you're brand new and you don't know how to get tapped in with the community, reach out to us, Powerhouse Community, and we're more than happy to get in contact with you and just grow as a trading community and to the next level. Thank you so much, guys. We'll call it here for a night. Much love.